Part 7. Configuring Jenkins to start the Linux Amazon instance slave. So if we come back to our Jenkins install, click on Manage Jenkins, Configure System, and at the bottom of the system configuration, so we can click Add to add an AMI, and then we can complete the details in here for the AMI details that we need to create our instances with. Now the AMI ID you want to use is going to be the same as the AMI ID we pulled out and used when we created the Linux instances in our original module. So you can find those in, look at your running instances, we can pick out and use the AMI ID for the Unix client we set up previously. So that AMI ID will be this AMI ID here. Now bear in mind these AMIs are regularly updated by Amazon, so they may well change between your setup and my setup that I'm showing you here. So next thing, we can check AMI just to make sure it pulls back the correct AMI, the Amazon machine image, and we've got AMD 64 platform, Ubuntu operating system, and we just need to pick out the instance type now. And of course we're trying to stick to the free tier, so we're going for the T2 micro, and then define the security group names that we have configured in our AWS account for these particular instances as well. So those security groups, we can find those again if we come back to our EC2 dashboard, click on security groups, and if you remember from module 1 we created a number of different security groups. These are the security groups that we need to use, and you need to take the group name, not the ID. So we need Unix AUT, and we'll use the default one as well. Back in our Jenkins setup, so we can use Unix AUT and separate them with a comma and default in there. We'll take the defaults for the file systems, the remote file systems and the availability zones, but we will need to specify the remote user. So this is the user account on the Ubuntu machine that uses the private key that we've entered just now. So it is Ubuntu. AMI type is Unix. The remote SSH port, SSH runs on 22, port 22. And then we can put a label in here. We'll talk about labels in a minute, but we'll just put RC build deploy server. Usage, talk about this again in a minute, but there are a number of options here. We'll utilize this node as much as possible, so if it's available, Jenkins will use it. Idle termination time. If a build or testing or any task or job is not running on this machine and it doesn't run or do anything for 30 minutes, then Jenkins will terminate this machine and shut it down.